What makes a house a home? We've been searching the country for Scotland's Home of the Year. And now, 6 regional winners have made it through to the grand final at Glasgow's House for an Art Lover by renowned architect Charles Rennie Mackintosh. Deciding who will win the title are our judges, interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones.
I'm so excited for this year's final. I really think all bets are off. Any of the finalists could be the winner, and I'm absolutely dying to get talking about them.
Architect Danny Campbell.
The three of us have totally different styles and attitudes towards judging which should be Scotland's Home of the Year. But where we cross over is the most exciting point, and that's where the winner will be found.
And Isle of Mull-based interior designer Banjo Beale.
I'm really looking forward to today, but I have no idea out of the 6 finalists who's the winner. It's such a tight race.
In the end, only one can be Scotland's Home of the Year. The finalists begin to arrive.
We can't believe it, can we?
The fact we made the final is bizarre. We live in a little one-bedroom flat in Edinburgh.
It means a lot to be here. It's very cool.
Our home is the Sandstone Bungalow. To be at the final today, it just feels very surreal, doesn't it?
We couldn't believe it, we're totally shocked.
We're super chuffed to be here.
I am very proud of my parents for making it this far.
We're really proud to be here. It's a great privilege. Really looking forward to the day.
Amidst all the homes in Scotland, I can't believe we're here in the final.
It's exciting. Looking forward to meeting other contestants, seeing their homes, meeting the judges, everything.
It feels amazing to be here for the finals of Scotland's Home of the Year and to be representing the northeast of Scotland.
I'm just quite excited to be here to meet everyone and have a good day out.
Behind every home there's a great story, I'm sure, and it'd be really good to hear all those stories coming together in the whole kind of narrative for the day.
I'm really looking forward to picking up some good ideas, and I really, really want to meet the judges.
Our finalists will now meet each other for the first time.
So this is like the one spot in the house where you get the sea view out this window and then the mountain out the side. So
That's a new staircase that we put in to access this box that was built on the top.
You did all the panelling yourselves?
Yeah, so we built panelling running round and then on this face here.
And now the judges arrive.
It's so great to meet you all and to put faces to some of these beautiful homes.
Thank you so much for letting us snoop around your lovely homes. It's been an absolute pleasure.
We've been to 18 incredible places right across Scotland, and you are our 6 fabulous finalists.
And now comes the tricky part. We've got to decide which one of your homes is going to be Scotland's Home of the Year. So we're off to deliberate. Wish us luck.
The judges retire to the deliberation room, where they will consider each home in turn, choosing their top 3 before going on to decide the ultimate winner.
OK, we've had our fun choosing these 6 beautiful finalists, but now it's time to get serious. Why don't we start with the Sandstone Bungalow from the west? Let's remind ourselves of what it was like. Oh, yes, that gold extension.
What an entrance hall.
I love the way our eyes were drawn to the light in that kitchen space.
Follow the light. Wow. Puts the glow in bungalow.
Oh.
Is there a glow in bungalow?
In Giffnock, Sandstone Bungalow is home to Pamela, Gordon, their son Caleb and Rosa, the Irish setter.
I really like that we've tried to retain the original character and sort of created this connection that didn't exist before. And I like the way it sort of flows and it connects each different part of the house to the outside.
Yeah, and I think the way we've sort of decorated it and filled it with things that are personal to us, but also sometimes just really pretty. I'm a bit of a magpie. I like to see nice things. So I think our home has a lot of little stories in it.
I really enjoyed the way they had kept so many things that were already there. I think the temptation to rip out and do everything new, especially given their personal style.
Yeah.
I thought it was really clever that they resisted that and they made do with some of the things that were there, and that gave much greater depth.
Yes, I think it's what they kept that counts in this house. The addition was fabulous, but I was most impressed with what they had the restraint to keep. It was kind of timeless.
You know, bungalows of that era are fantastic to modify, but they've got loads of problems as well. Often you come in, it's dark, there's loads of doors, and by punching through, creating that massive opening, it just brought the garden and the outside life into the home. It was beautiful.
I think I'd really like it to be in our top 3.
Me too.
Yeah?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it as well.
But what do the other homeowners think of the sandstone bungalow?
The cladding is amazing on that. What is that?
That's
I love what they've done with the old extension in the kitchen to let all that light in.
So here's a practical question. How do you clean that?
great difficulty.
It's built in like the 20s or the 30s, so it's got a lot of Art Deco, which I quite like. It's very interesting.
Why don't we talk about our tiniest finalist next? The Wee City Nook, our finalist from the East.
Oh, love that. Skateboards as art.
There were some really good art pieces in here, lots of humour.
The layout was spot on. I love the way they pushed that sink into the window.
Every little nook had a purpose here, and look at all those nooks.
Wee City Nook in Stockbridge in Edinburgh is home to Devon and Max.
In this sort of time, it's so hard to get on the property ladder, and I feel like we've shown people what you can do with your first home.
Yeah, and just being able to make each and every like nook and cranny mean something, even if it's in a small place. You know, we've created our like dream first home, whereas everybody else has like their dream home, like our dream home eventually.
Yeah. I mean, how many times you walk down a Scottish street and you're surrounded by windows from tenements and you just wonder what they're going to be like inside? They've used the high ceilings so effectively. Although the space was really tiny, everything was being accounted for. It was really clever, I thought.
Yeah, I think a tiny tenement, but packed a whole lot of punch. I think they've lived in the space and they've really tried to understand how it has to work for them, and they've rinsed every available inch dry.
It's such an interesting building type, and it's such an old building type. And I just love seeing the new ways that people are able to find to personalise them and make them appropriate and relevant to contemporary life. And I really think that's what these homeowners did here. Can we not, like, rule it out completely for being in the top 3 at this point? Because I think we all love it.
Yeah.
Let's
come back to it.
Should we come back to it when we've had a look at some of the others?
Did you do that as well? Yeah, that's amazing. Saying that we actually had on our phone, like had actually mocked up exactly what we were planning and put in each little section. Max built it.
I really like Wee City Nook. It's amazing what's been done in that space, and there's been a huge amount of design thinking behind the layout.
Okay, so from small and mighty to big, beautiful, new build, let's look at Hilltop House, our finalist from the northeast of Northern Isles.
That combination of stone and wood is classic for a reason, isn't it? And that is done so handsomely.
Do you know, it's incredibly unusual to have the garage right in the middle of the elevation, but it really broke up that uniform profile. Really clever.
Oh, the pink front door. You were taking the mickey out of us with this enormous building, but that was such an amazing decision.
That external timber cladding inside as well, it really gave that feeling indoor-outdoor.
Wow, what a space. Look at all that height.
On the outskirts of Pitmedden in Aberdeenshire, Hilltop House is home to Jessica, Chris, their son Chase, and their dogs Enzo and Dino.
Because we did it from scratch, and we obsessed over almost every single detail before the house was even built, we could almost live there because we could see it in computer models.
I think the thing that I'm most proud of with the house is that it feels lived in. It doesn't feel precious. It's just a place that you want to live in, and we do.
Yep.
Although everything in this home is really kind of new, I actually did really feel like I was stepping inside the brain of the homeowner in such a powerful way.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
I agree. I think that home, probably from its shell, has been a canvas for the homeowners. They've taken that, they've added their own style, meticulously resuscitated the building. It was just alive, that house.
They've taken that site and they've elongated its life. That's such an important message. But at the same time, they've also just made it so cool.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. There were so many little details, you know, clever little accents were carrying through. It was so inspiring.
Does that mean it's going to be in our top 3?
Oh, yeah.
That's the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
I'm loving this.
The light is unbelievable. There's so much.
The big open plan living, the cladding.
Their sofa.
It's
The
cool.
sofa's
Very
amazing.
cool.
No eliminations as yet, and there are still 3 more homes for the judges to consider.
Since we've been talking about a black, modern-ish piece of architecture, why don't we move on to a black, modernist piece of architecture, the Treehouse, our finalist for Central and Tayside.
It was all about that courtyard, wasn't it?
It was nice to get the landscape, but also still feel like you've got privacy.
I loved the way you could communicate between the rooms.
It was very connected, wasn't it?
And even though you had those external materials inside, it did feel warm. It felt like a home.
In Broughty Ferry, Treehouse is home to Jackie and Paul and their cats Mirren and Kaja.
It is quite scary having your home judged, but at the end of the day, actually, everybody here has really individual tastes and styles and personalities that are reflected through their homes.
It really helps you reflect on what home means. You know, and for us, home means the social side of things. It's about the food in our house and the nourishment and all of that. It's about nature because our house is really connected to nature. That house has really turned into a wonderful home.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful home and I loved its connection with the outdoors. You felt like you were in the trees. Maybe they've made some additions that weren't quite in keeping with the original intention of it, but I think they've taken creative license here and they've really built a beautiful home.
It's a very clever idea, actually, to extend it by putting something on top. Because it created a completely different kind of space that the home didn't already have. I'm not completely convinced about the shape and the materiality of it, but I think the concept and how the space felt inside was really strong.
I mean, we don't know how much of the original building was there. It's certainly been tweaked to the full extent you can actually tweak something. And it's kind of become this really weird kind of Frankenstein building where you've got these like quirky new additional elements with angles and triangular windows and things. But then you've got this really square, perfect modernist courtyard. And I feel like the combination of the two creates a really unusual energy that really piqued my interest.
So you like it?
Yeah, I'm in love with the Frankenstein house.
This house was surrounded by trees, so we'd taken some of the trees out. People didn't know the house was sitting there.
It looks like it belongs in the woods. I think it's amazing.
It's beautiful, and all the windows bring the outside in.
This is exactly it, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Treehouse, this is my favourite.
But will the judges keep Treehouse in the running?
I think we really need to compare Hilltop House and Treehouse against each other. They use very similar, humble materials. They've both got a good connection to their site. I'm definitely leaning towards Hilltop House. It's been more successful, in my opinion.
They've added something that's kind of going to work hard for them. I appreciated what they were doing.
But are we saying that although we love it and we appreciate so much what these people have done to resurrect this building, that it's not quite edging it over that very, very narrow line to be in our top 3?
All right, turn it over.
Yeah?
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay, so this is going to be our first one that we're turning over.
Oh. Goodbye, Frankenhouse.
Right. Let's go whizzing up to the Highlands and Islands and talk about Ankara.
Oh, the sky's the limit. Look at that.
Sandwiched between that massive glen and the loch. did get a sense of who lived there again, didn't you? Their hobbies and their art just was painting a really beautiful picture.
It's a real foodie kitchen.
Good pancakes.
I love how unashamed it was that it was a working kitchen as well. The boiler was on the wall, things were a bit kind of scruffed on the floor.
Yeah, this is my kind of home.
In the Isle of Skye, Ancala Cottage is home to Caroline, Lee, and their dog Nuala.
We would use the word cosy to describe it, and that's been the word that's come up time and time again when chatting to people. And so it's nice to know the feeling we're trying to create is translating.
It's kind of vindication for a lot of the time and effort, especially the work Caroline's put in to make it what it is as well.
I absolutely adored this home. I think this is the definition of making a home, like they've made it their pursuit to turn a really humble kind of structure, and for not a lot of money, they've made some really beautiful spaces working with what they've got.
It was clear that they had been resourceful, and that's where a lot of the character came from having to dig deeper and to use that kind of creativity.
It was rough around the edges in places. It was a bit kind of scruffy, and you felt like it was an authentic, real space that people really loved to live in. And I just had that lasting feeling that, you know, it was definitely a home.
You've turned into a softie.
It was the pancakes.
So are we going to keep Ancala in play for now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I went away to do deliveries and I came back and the wallpaper was there. this chair arrived from somewhere.
Magically.
I really loved Ancala Cottage, though. It was so cute, so twee, and like everything was just like so, perfect.
It's like the perfect mix of like quirky and just also very sort of elegant.
Oh, that's such a nice compliment, thank you.
But there's still one home the judges need to consider.
Craigmount, our beautiful finalist for the South.
Oh, belter of a spot. How good was that?
The location was everything, and a cannon outside.
Yeah, I need to get a cannon for my house, that's what I realised.
Me too.
What a kitchen. Oh, disgusting.
Never seen a bathroom like that.
On the Dumfries and Galloway coast, Craigmount is home to Ozzy, his wife Laura, daughter Grace, and Ethel the pug.
I think what sets our home apart is the interior design. We've not stuck to one particular style. You never know what you're going to quite walk into.
It is quite daunting to put your house on show because, you know, we're not interior designers and we've just did our own thing and everybody's taste is slightly different.
Some people love it, some people hate it, but we love it, so.
Before I got to this home, I didn't realise how much I loved granite. It's a really understated, really humble material that was completely celebrated by that moment where you could exit the building and they hadn't changed the surface materials as you transition from indoor to outdoor. They left it external. And I think that was such a clever way to open up a thick, older building.
Yeah, a lot of people would have covered that in plasterboard, wouldn't they, and made it feel like an interior space. What a bold move to not do that, and that's the key to the success of that extension.
They've really gone to town on making sure every little detail makes sense to make something that's clearly new feel like it's been there forever. It felt like it was just correct.
They weren't scared to break some rules as well. They had a pretty much landlocked living room, but it had multiple access points. But it was also connected to another living space. I mean, that really shouldn't work, but having that fireplace in the middle connected two rooms with totally different personalities.
Yes, that fire was like kind of like the beating heart of the home, like bringing it all together.
It's a bit of a higgledy-piggledy house, isn't it? And then there's like 3 more stairs that go to like
But it
another
seems to work
level,
so
and then-
well.
Yes.
So I really, really love Craigmount. I think it's just absolutely stunning. The antiques, the colours, the extension, all of it is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a real favourite of mine.
I feel like Craigmount and Sandstone Bungalow should be going head-to-head, fight to the death, and Ancala Cottage and Wee City Nook could be doing the same.
Fight. Head to head.
There's so many crossovers that they can't be there against each other.
I like that.
I feel like the way the the sandstone bungalow was approached, completely transformed what would have been a dark, awkward entranceway and made that bungalow really well connected to the garden and has completely changed how it works. But with Craigmount, I feel that side lean-to extension was so unusual, the way they'd connected those internal spaces and celebrated that external material inside. It's so difficult to choose between them, but purely for unique points, I'm going with Craigmount.
Sandstone bungalow very much speaks to the way that I like to decorate a home and the way that I like to live. But Craigmount had this incredible quality, a kind of power and assertiveness that it blew me away. So yeah, I think I would agree with you.
It pains me to turn over the bungalow, but I think that Craigmount kind of pips it at the post.
Let's flip it.
Hard on your hearts.
Oh, that one stung.
Sandstone Bungalow is out of the competition, but the judges still need to flip one home to reach their final 3.
So we said that we were going to compare Ancala Cottage with Wee City Nook.
Yeah, I think the Wee City Nook definitely falls into what I feel like I'm about with design around small spaces. And I think Ancala Cottage really spoke to you, Banjo.
It's the battle of town and country. The Wee City Nook was designed. I think our Sky Home was made. It was just wearing its heart on its sleeve. And it wasn't kind of for everyone, but it was for them. And that's what a home is about for me. I'm sorry, Anna, you'll have to make the call. We're not gonna probably agree.
I'm really torn, because on a personal level, both of these homes speak to me for completely contrasting reasons.
The Wee City Nook used that recess in the bedroom for the full storage space. They had the different heights of doors with the glazing above as you came round that corner. Very clever, very deliberate decisions. They'd clearly gone to every effort to maximize the space.
But these guys have really poured a little bit more heart, bringing it to life and adding their personality, I feel, which was a little bit more unique. So Anna.
Head or heart?
Head or heart.
Island City, Danny or Banjo?
They were looking for homes which push the envelope, which show us new ideas. And I think if I was using that as a criteria, then it would be the Wee City Nook because of the innovations that it shows in the way that you can inhabit a tenement in the 21st century.
This sounds like a breakup speech. Fine. I really think it's a beautiful home and colour, but equally, that city tenement is stunning and I still loved it, so it kills me, but...
It's heartbreaking, but let's flip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Sorry, Banda, I'll make it up to you. So, we have our top 3.
Now, the hardest task. The judges must decide which of their final 3 will be crowned Scotland's Home of the Year.
If we won, we would be very proud.
Gobsmacked, but very proud. And then
We find a nice little space for the...
on the TV unit somewhere, yeah, we clear something out the way for it.
I think to win with the competition that we have would be actually quite mind-blowing, and to not win would be completely understandable.
If we were to win Scotland's Home of the Year, it would definitely be the icing on the cake.
It would be a credit to all the people that have helped us in the house. Everybody's put a lot of work into it.
And now we've got to choose between these 3. Hilltop House, with brilliant sort of agricultural artist's explosion. I still can't imagine saying goodbye to it.
I feel like in Hilltop House, they had such a poetic movement between the different spaces. I felt like the composition of how that was all put together was absolutely spot on.
I agree. I think when you walked in that home, it immediately took you on a little journey, and I felt like it really was a living, breathing canvas to the homeowner. I loved it.
Craigmount. That's a home with a snagging list of 0 items. It's so perfect.
Maybe for me, the furnishings weren't to my taste, but I think about the bare bones of that, and I think it was quite a remarkable home.
That moment of going through the bedroom space, okay, there's a dressing room, we've seen that before, and then wait, there's a door and it's glazed and we're getting a view of the hills and it's a terrace. I feel like they really exercised a huge amount of fearlessness in changing that building and making it something that was true to them.
So, Wee City Nook.
There was something really romantic about the way a small space had been packed with so much creativity and style and energy and humour.
A beautiful example of what you can do with a small space. I don't know if it's Scotland's Home of the Year though.
Could you say that the Wee City Nook is perhaps of a type, of an interior style that we've seen before? So whilst it's pushing boundaries in terms of clever uses of space, it's not pushing boundaries in terms of its style.
I'm probably leaning towards agreeing with you.
So are we agreed that we're going to turn over the Wee City Nook?
No to the Nook.
Oh, it's a shame. Okay. So our final two are Craigmount and Hilltop House. They're little bits about either home that I fell in love with, but for me, one actually made my heart flutter a bit when I went inside.
Both have been designed beautifully, but in quite different directions, in different styles. I think I'm agreeing with you, Anna. I think that there's something about that home that's lasted with me, that's left me feeling inspired and encouraged within my own profession.
It surprised me actually that I really like this home so much, because it is kind of the antithesis of what I might like. But that's testament to what they've done. They've kind of been true to themselves and they've made something that's uniquely theirs, and that's a home.
So does that mean that we're all feeling the same way?
Yes.
Golly.
Yeah, I'm there.
We have our winner.
So which home have the judges chosen as Scotland's Home of the Year?
Well, after a lot of discussion and a bit of argy-bargy, we've managed to whittle it down to just one amazing winner.
It's been an absolute pleasure exploring your amazing homes and meeting you all today.
And trust me when I say it has not been an easy decision.
But there can only be one winner. And this year's Scotland's Home of the Year is, from the North East and Northern Isles, Hilltop House.
Surprised. Surreal.
I never really thought about winning it. It was just like being part of the process. It's just like a fun experience. Everyone else, all the other contestants are like super nice people.
And just as much thought and love went into their homes and everything. So yeah, it is quite special to get an accolade for doing something that we truly enjoyed doing. Yeah, it's a great feeling.